Hey, hey, hey! We're back. Okay, just did the first two songs on the album. This is song number 3, which I didn't plan this, but they all ended up being on the same theme. This one, I'm not gonna go into the details about the lyrics, because it's kind of a long story. But I will briefly tell you about how the song came about. I was teaching a young fella named Jackie, Jackson, as he's going by now. Um, and he came to class one day and said, "Hey, do you know what this is?" He was like, I don't know how old he was, like 10 or 11. He goes, dee 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 dee, on the piano. And I was like, no, what is that? He's like, that's Mary Had a Little Lamb backwards. Instead of mi, re, do, re, mi, 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 it was mi, 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 re, do, re, mi. Thought that was pretty clever. And so we kind of started to write a little bit of a tongue-in-cheek version of Mary Had a Little Lamb around that, but then kind of like the same thing that happened to Journey the Turtle, what started out as tongue-in-cheek took a pretty serious angle of its own accord, and the lyrics just kind of fell into place, and this is what it turned out to be. This one's called Mary. Ah, just got a low battery signal. Gotta go get my charger. I'll be right back. And for those of you just tuning in, I'm doing all these this weekend at the Nightingale Health Sanctuary, on the 12 string. The album, of course, is going to be, more intricately arranged in a rock genre. And this one's got a kind of a cool little synth line at the beginning that maybe I'll hum here. But, anyways, I love this 12 string. It's like a choir of strings. And Mary had a little lamb. Its fleece was white as snow, and everywhere she went, the lamb would have to go. It followed her to school, 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 school. The kids thought it was cool, but the teacher wasn't hip, and he sent her to the office with a bad behavior slip. They all cried, Mary, hey, what you did was bad. You're gonna have to pay. We're gonna make you sad. So they called her parents down, spread the word around. But Mary wasn't fazed, 'cause she was happy on the inside, tripping on a riptide, and everybody was amazed. I saw her sitting by the bookstore, sleeping on the outside, and everybody knew her name. Mother Mary in the morning crowd. We used to see her every day, going on about what's going on, and taking her time to say what she wants to say. And she be walking down the street now, a kicking to the beat now, her little lamb a nipping at her feet now. She didn't care if it was strain. Mary met it with a car. She didn't make it far. She had nothing much to say. It happens every day. People gathered on the lawn to say a word or sing a song. You can't believe she isn't there. And now her memory fades away, like we ourselves someday. And on the matter, I'm sure if she was here beside us now, she'd have something to say, 'cause she'd be walking down the street now. I know. 'Cause she'd be chilling with her friends now, sitting pretty on her fence now, and sleeping on the outside in front of us all. And you would be all small to call her insane. And everybody knew her name was Mary. And everybody knew her name was Mary. And everybody knew her name was Mary Jane. All right. Yahoo! That one's Mary. For those of you that weren't in on the beginning of this episode in sections, yeah, I'm just hanging out, brushing up on some tunes coming up this weekend. They're going to be on my album, which will be released in Beijing 2019 in August, so get your tickets now. But yeah, I've been working so much on recording these that sometimes I end up not actually playing them so much, and so I'm wrapping my fingers around them once again. And I'll be playing these this weekend at the Nightingale Health Sanctuary. We're having a holiday sing-along, so we're going to sing some carols and whatever, and just have some fun and some camaraderie. And yeah, I'll bring my 12-string down there and play some tunes for you. Okay, and I just got a message. Woohoo! It says, "Are you still alive, Scotty?" So let's see. Oh, it's Greta and Randy. Okay, this is really, really good timing, because these are some of my dearest friends in the world. Randy and Greta, how you doing out there? Let's see if that message came up here. And the way I met these beautiful people is through their daughter, who I met when she was 8, and started teaching her guitar after... Hey, Greta. I started teaching Emily guitar when she was 8 years old. I had just met her at the Imagine That camp, which became one of the coolest jobs of my existence, and not just because it was tailor-made for what I do anyways, but I got to meet the most incredible families and the most incredible kids. And, you know, the A-list of that group of kids includes this wonderful person named Emily Sangder, who is now studying at Berklee School of Music. It's been 10 years since I've met her. And, you know, not only my former student, but my colleague, my friend, and just one of the coolest people. So here, let me put in the comments here her website so you can go check her out, because she's awesome and she's doing amazing things. And the reason I said this was really wonderful timing is because we're now at, let's see, here is her website, because we're now at the track number 4 on the album. This song's called The Wheel, or I'm Just Waiting for the Wheel to Come Around. And this is a good example of something I tell everybody who wants to be a songwriter. Always have a notebook handy. Always have a little voice note recorder handy, because you never know what path a song is going to take. both in terms of, the order of the parts being written and just how long it takes. Some songs really will pour out, in one day, all the pieces. But to me, that's a rare experience. And this song I started when I was living at my great aunt's house in Montana over a winter in 1998. And just, I go through these cassettes. I have like 70 of them that I've like cataloged and have like big giant exclamation marks by, certain things that I'm discovering out of the rubble of what's mostly just a bunch of crap. But every once in a while, it's like, oh my God, that's pretty cool. And I took this song, and 20 years later, finished it. And I realized, what? This would be awesome if Emily could sing the lead vocals. So actually, this is the first one I'm really going to work on getting a final mix finished for, because I'm just so excited for people to hear this track with Emily singing. She just knocked it out of the ballpark, absolutely, and just it thrills me to no end. So yeah, we're going to be finishing that soon, and I will send a link to that when it's ready to go as sort of a little promotional preview of the album to come. But anyways, this one is called The Wheel, or I'm Just Waiting for the Wheel to Come Around. And the demo is forthcoming with Emily singing it, but I'll do my best here. I've fallen asleep at the wheel, but there's a sidetrack ratchet of road. It's too much to fill to the feel upside a heart's hard labor and load. I tell you the tale of the way it all unwound, but I'm just waiting for the wheel to come round. I left my life on the rails, and now I'm watching all the train wrecks roll. I got no more wind in my sails for chasing rabbits down the rabbit hole. Suffering shame in a crazy little town. Yeah, I'm just waiting for the wheel to come round. Who's that lonely boy standing outside a cackle? All the cuckoos cried. You got some tag to be handing out all them facts about the other side. What can I say? I'm just sharing what I found. Yeah, I'm just waiting for the wheel to come round. I got my ducks in a row, but didn't realize the lines were crossed. Showed up late for the show, and no one told me, but the crowd's all sauced. What can I play now that no one hears a sound? I hang my head and I'm hiding underground. With the price of 30-odd years, it was the quintessential college try. A step back from the buds and the beers and don't know whether I should laugh or cry. A shackle of flames come flashing in my crown, crown, crown. I know my place, my heart begins to pound. I can't tell you where the sum of this is bound, bound, bound. A whole new chapter for every clue I found. And the summer's fading, the leaves are turning brown, brown, brown. I hear that highway, it's howling like a hound. The wind blows gently, whispering a soft, sobering sound. And I'm just waiting for the wheel to come round. Thank you. Just Philip. Philip, who's also at Berkeley. I got 3 friends at Berkeley right now, all in Emily's grade. Emily and Ariel Ward and Philip Etherington, who just commented, "Your mic is falling." And I think he might be looking at one of the earlier parts of the live stream today because, yes, it was irritating me to no end, and I finally cranked down the fastener on the arm of this mic stand, and I think it's okay now. So, yeah. But thank you, Philip. I appreciate that. Yeah, anybody has any comments, these are just the first experimental live streams. Just hanging out with you, trying to work out the kinks on the technical side of things. So, yeah, let me know, especially what the sound quality is like. I see the signal bar here, which isn't going into the red, but it is going into the yellow, which means it's probably not crapping out on you, and hopefully it is audible. But anyways, yeah, so that's track 4. Let's see, what would be track 5? I'm kind of going by memory here. Oh, track 5 is Bring It Down, which many of you Sugar Beats fans of old might remember. This one's going to be one of the more interesting ones to kind of take out of the rock department. And again, like I said, the 12 string is, your best bet if you're going to do a solo thing and want to get some rockin' sounds out because it's just so full. But, yeah, this one is definitely going to take some creative approaches to doing it unplugged style, but we're going to have to, so let's see what happens. And like I said earlier, this is just me hanging out. I'll be stopping and starting and trying little things because this isn't a, hey, I'm performing this. I'm just kind of trying to perform it, but also just kind of practice at the same time, which involves a lot of starting and stopping. Okay, this one's in B flat, which actually, where's my capo? I think I played this the other day with a capo and it turned out really nice. So let me just check for that really quick. Sing songs amongst yourselves. And thank you for hanging out. Where's my capo? as I also mentioned earlier, I'm going to be using this live stream primarily for the purpose of educational stuff. Been putting up a lot of videos that you can check out at the Music Compass YouTube channel, and they're pretty fun. There's a couple characters that I'm employing to like just start you out from scratch, ground zero, assuming you know nothing. So, you know, if you do know something, then these first ones are going to be a little bit silly, but they're still fun. But the most recent ones, I think lesson number 6, with both of the characters, starts to get into the meat of things, you know, teaching you some actual college level music theory, but I'm not going to call it that because that sounds scary, but we make it fun. We got Travis Troy, he's like your cowboy character teaching you stuff, and then that's live or live action, you know, and then Dr. Zlati, who's all like just cartoon character, and his buddy Mr. Mifu, which is starring my kitty Mifer, and that's in Mandarin, which with subtitles, because as I mentioned, I'm going to be releasing this album in Beijing with a bunch of my friends over there, and I've got a nice little crew of folks going over there with me, so we'll have a skeleton crew to do a first presentation of my Music Compass music camp over there. And yeah, so that's going to be really fun. So check out those videos. And I got off on a tangent there talking about you know, the fact that I'm going to be using this live stream mostly for teaching. Because as I go through these songs that are on the album, I'm probably going to be throwing out little tidbits of educational stuff from here and there. And eventually I will have some charts that you can download, and I'll be streaming into this. But at least what I'm doing right now, I'm just practicing for myself, and I will throw out a little nugget of information here and there. And this one, you know, is about the capo. So let's say, well, like that first song, Junior the Turtle, E minor, G, D, A, and then a C, and a D, and then an A minor, and then has a B in there. That's the only chord that doesn't have an open chord version of it. So you got to do a bar chord for the B. Now, Bring It Down is in the key of B flat. It's like B flat, D flat, A flat, F. And then there's an F sharp in there, and a C. But of all those, the only one that has an open chord version of that is C. So you got to do all these bar chords, which is great for, you know, the rock ensemble. But when you want to do like sort of that unplugged thing and have a bunch of these little kind of open guitar goodies, little tricks, you can't really do that with bar chords. So that's why you have this thing. If I put this at the first fret, now I can actually, well, actually, no, let's put that third fret, because now I do a G chord, but it sounds like a B flat. And then what did I do for the, what did I do for that? Maybe I did use the first fret. Oh yeah, okay, I did use the first fret, because now the A chord becomes a B flat. The D chord, actually I go to C, becomes my C sharp, my D flat, and then the G becomes my A flat, and then the E becomes my F. And it's not that I don't like doing the bar chords, which if you're doing the rock stuff, that's great. It's like it's more appropriate for that overdriven sound to have like the crunchy bar chord stuff. But if you're doing unplugged stuff, there's a lot of stuff you can, fun little things you can do with open chords that you just can't do with bar chords. So I'm going to experiment with playing this song with the capo. Let's see what happens. Get the capo. It's the guitar solo, eventually. I'd sing my mother's favorite song, but I've got something left to do. Bring it down. I know the word might get around, but I'd spend half my time with you. Bring it down. It's impossible to choose when I've got everything to lose. I guess I have to pay my dues. Bring it down. Bring it down. I saw you riding across the meadow on a horse with silver hair. Bring it down. I watched you for a while. I never want sun so rare. Bring it down. I've sailed across the ocean blue. I've had the bird's eye view. I know no one rivals you, so bring it down. Toodle-doo-doo. 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 Now that I've climbed the highest mountain and I've finally touched the flame, bring it down. I know the word might get around, but girl, I'm glad to play the game. Bring it down. You're a treasure to be found, but you turn me upside down. So of course you win the crown. Bring it down. I really hope you're having fun. We've only just begun. I'd say the best is yet to come. Bring it down. Bring it down. Bring it down. Bring it down. All right, time for a pee break. I'll be right back.